Hi everyone, myself Anju here. I have totally 15 years experience in IT industry. I'm working currently as a DevOps engineer. So today we are going to teach about the Kubernetes deployment. So I have an EC2 instance ready here with Kubernetes installed and have only one single machine, which is the master machine. If I can say kubectl get nodes, we can see this is a control plane server where I can run and create all the pods here. So I'm going to create a deployment here. So we already discussed the replica sets and the pod creation and the labeling in the previous class. So in this, we are going to cover up the deployment. So the replica set we used for creating multiple pods and to manage it and scale down, right? So here in deployment, the purpose of deployment to do a deployments to do a rollout an application. If any new changes come in the application, we can just do a rollout using the deployment so that application will be running with the new modified code. So that how do we do that rollout deployment and how do we roll back to the previous state? All this can be done using the deployment. So I'm going to create a deployment using the manifest file. So I'm going to create a file called deployment.yaml. Yeah. So already there is one deployment created. So I'm going to delete that. Okay. And I'm going to create deployment.yaml. And inside I have to say about API version apps/v1. It is similar like replica set, only the kind. And the kind we need to say about the name of the resource. It's called deployment. And metadata. Here we need to say about the name of the deployment. So we can say my-deployment. And we can say the spec here. Here we can say about how many replicas. So in this deployment itself, we are using the replica set. So the actual job of the replica is to create the pods, right? And this replica will be part of this deployment. And the deployment job is to do the doing the deployments or modifying the apps, rollout, rollback, all this functionality will be done by the deploy. So each has different functionality, like replica sets has different functionality and the deployment has a different functionality. So both together we have to create, right? So in the replicas, below we need to say about the selector, colon, and the match labels. This all say that when we created the replica set, my app next template, then metadata, colon, again labels, the same label, app, colon, my app, then spec again for the container, containers, hyphen name of the container, my container, image. We are going to use this Nginx image. And even if you want, we can specify the port number. If not mandatory. That's all enough. Save this file. kubectl, apply, or get pods. Let's make sure any pods already running here or not. So there is no pods here. kubectl get deployment. So there is no deployment also. So I'm going to create that kubectl apply -f the deployment.yaml. Now if I check kubectl get deployment, there is a resource created called my deployment, and there is a pods are running below that. If you can see here 3 are available. So which means 3 pods are running now. So kubectl get pods, we can see here, right? 3 pods are created by that deployment and that replica set. The replica set. Even if you see more about that deployment, we can say kubectl describe deployment my-deployment. Now you can see here, right? The more detail about the deployment. So we can see here, there is a name of the deployment, and it is created in the default namespace, and creation time label is not specified for the deployment. There is an annotation. Default one is revision 1, and the selector is my app, and the replicas 3 are the rolling update strategy. So this is the strategy we are using for this deployment. And here we can see rolling update strategy 25% max available, 25% max search pod template. And again, we are using the label as my app here. So the deployment is working fine. So we can do a update on the pods here. So currently, as we said, when we check the description, we can see here what image we have used for creating that pods, right? So you can see here it's Nginx image, right? So I'm going to change this image to a different, the latest Nginx. I assume that we are working in a production, and the pods are already running in the production, and I want to do some changes in the code, and I want to deploy that changes in the current production environment. So we have done that changes, and we will be having a new image with the latest tag. So this time we are going to use the latest tag. So we can say kubectl set image deployment / my-deployment and my-container. That was the name of the container, and the image name Nginx latest. So if I say here, you can see that the my-deployment image updated. So now if I check the description above the deployment, just scroll up, you can see here, right? The image got changed. Now it is using Nginx latest. The same time when I say kubectl get pods, you can see that pods are currently running, and this is been created just 20 seconds ago, 17 seconds ago, and 14 seconds ago. So which means this is created just now. So the old pods got deleted and created a new pods here. So that is the reason we can see that the pods are being created newly here, and the old one got deleted. And even if you want to see that kubectl get replica set, you can see here, right? There is this was the old replica set, and that all the pods have been deleted, and it created a new replica set, and currently running with this replica set, right? Just 54 seconds ago. So this is happened because of the image we have updated. So it deleted the old one and created a new pods with the help of the replica set, right? And even if you want, we can just check that what is the history. So we can say kubectl roll out history deployment space my-deployment. So we can see that here, right? There is a versions created, the change cost. So this is the first version and the second version. So the first version, we had the old pods, the old replica set information, and revision has a new pods information, right? So we can change that by switching that the revisions. So we can say kubectl get roll out and uh, if you want, we can change to something else, a newer version. We can say that deployment slash my hyphen deployment space my hyphen container is equal to nginx colon 1 colon 25 enter. So something in the deployment, my hyphen container, unknown command deployment. So something problem with the deployment. Kubectl deployment. Okay, we have to use a space here. So I should use rollup. I shouldn't use, sorry, that was some mistake here. So I have to say totally different command, the same as we did earlier, kubectl set image space deployment slash my hyphen deployment, my hyphen container, then is equal to nginx colon 1.25 enter. Now if I say kubectl get rs replication controller, we can see that here, right? The old deployments pods are getting deleting one by one and it is creating a new one, right? So we can see that there are two history now. There is two replication sets are the count of the desired and the current are 0. And this is the latest one, which is running with the 3 pods now. So which has the latest image detail. So we can check all the pods are running successfully or not. kubectl get pods. We can see that all are running fine. No issues with that. And even if you want to roll back, like in case you find that your pods are not working properly, your changes are not working properly, the functionality is not working properly. So what we can do, we can just roll back, right? So what we have done, was a roll out. So we can roll back. Uh, I mean, we can do the changes to undo state, right? So we can say kubectl roll out, undo, and the deployment. The name of the deployment, my hyphen deployment, and space hyphen hyphen to hyphen revision is equal to whichever revision you want. So we said that there were some revisions here, right? Yeah, here we can see that 1 and 2. So now the revision number should be 1, 2, 3 because we have upgraded again, right, to a different version. So if I say 2 here or 1 here, now if I say kubectl get pods, you can see here, right? Some are creating, some are terminating. So if I check the get replica sets, we can see that still we have 3 only. So what it does basically, it created in the same replica set with when I check, everything works fine. Um, so this is a way we can roll back. So we can check that kubectl get deployment and kubectl describe deployment, my-deployment. So we can check that what is the images been using now. See, it's Nginx. So that is what we used at the first time, right? Because we use that version as one, so it actually deployed with the first deployment. So first we deployed with just Nginx image only. Later the second time we deployed with Nginx colon latest, and the third time we did Nginx colon 1.25 version, right? So when I did the version with one, then when we did the undo with the revision one, then actually it went to the first deployment state. So this is a way we can just do a deployment, and we can do that changes in the code or the application. We can just do a rollout. We can set that image with the latest one, and in case if that doesn't work properly, we can just do an undo with a specific revision. So we can get all the revisions by running the rollout history command, and we can go with whichever the revision we want. So that will help. So replica set deployments are totally different of resources, and it does a different functionality. And the replica sets, we know that it actually creates a pod, a number of pods, and make sure that certain number of pods are running. But the deployment does that rollouts and rollout undo functionality. All this can be done with the deployment. Thanks everyone. I hope you have understood. So let's see in another minutes.